law enforcement are not case law enforcement. They're to enforce laws, not case rulings. Case rulings is not case law. This is not a law. Judges cannot make and pass laws. They can only make rulings on court situations. That's all it is. And then the court rulings are what you use as a defendant to help you on your case when you're defending yourself. We need to start bringing this out to light. Where does it state in a law enforcer's job qualifications that they are to enforce case rulings as law? There is no law that gives them the right to enforce case rulings as law. They're not law. Judges cannot make and pass laws. Only Congress can. Judges are not part of Congress. They are judges. Judges are bound by the Constitution to enforce the U.S. Constitution. That's it. Especially the U.S. judges of the U.S. Supreme Court. They are to enforce nothing but the Constitution because they're not part of a state like Texas or whatever. Texas and all them have their own state Supreme Courts. So cops are not supposed to be enforcing case rulings as law. And yet they're enforcing a case ruling called Terry versus Ohio. They're enforcing another case ruling called Pennsylvania versus Mims. That's not their job. It's not in their job qualification to enforce case rulings. They're not law. They may call them case law, but they're not law. They're just manipulating you left and right with these word games, these word salads they play. They try to say that we, who are for the truth, are using word salads and playing word games when we're not. They're projecting. They're projecting what they're doing onto us, who only wants freedom, peace, property, ownership of your own stuff and to do what you want with your own property. You have the right to take your private property, that's your vehicle, it belongs to you. You bought it. They didn't buy it and then say, okay, now we bought this and we're letting you use it. And so you got to do what we want. You got to have on it what we want on it. No, that's not how it's supposed to work. It is your private property and you're supposed to be able to get in it and take it wherever you want. It's yours. How can y'all not see that you are not free if you can't do what you want with your own property? You're not free. You're a slave. Slaves have people who own them and their property. Slaves are controlled. Them and their property is controlled by another man or group of men. You're a slave. You're controlled. Your property's controlled. They own you and they own your property. You have owners and you own nothing already. It's already been that way ever since they started enforcing case laws or case rulings as law. And it's not to be done that way. There's no law in the U.S. Constitution that gives them the right to enforce case rulings as a law. They're going to enforce it upon, case rulings if they're in the favor of the defendant. And judges cannot even use case law against a defendant. That's what you need to learn too, because there are judges that do it because people don't know the truth. People don't know what they're not supposed to do and what they are supposed to do. And so everybody needs to learn this. Cops are not supposed to be enforcing case rulings as law.